and there he stood on the flat area of gravel and dirt.
They stopped.
Are you sure?
They stopped here.
Jerry made his way around the area, investigating, running his hands through the grass.
Gone.
I walked around too, running my flashlight over the ground and rocks and bushes, searching. You said you've seen them around here before?
Chased me over here before. Long before.
He went to where the grass ended and the gravel began. He then slowly bent down and parted the blades of grass, still investigating. I knew what he was thinking.
This grass stands.
And that grass is bent. You think they went underground? To the bunker? He nodded slowly. Okay, well, what do we do now?
I don't know.
Sorry, Jerry, but I'm gonna have to sleep soon.
I have to keep looking.
I understand, but we've been looking for a while now. There's nothing. No buttons, no levers, no elevator. No escalator, no hatch, no ladder.
They're here.
That may be so. But I can barely keep my eyes open. I'm exhausted. And so are you. Rest. He looked defeated, yet still somehow determined. Jerry, don't keep pushing yourself. Let's rest a little while, then we'll continue looking.
But what if they know?
How will they? Are the cameras?
I do not think so. Not over here.
But he looked around nervously, scanning the branches high above. Well, they're not able to track me, right?
Right.
Then rest. He sat across from me, legs folded. We were right on the edge of the wood line on the opposite side of the field. The sky was starting to brighten. The sun would be up in an hour or so, but I needed sleep. I leaned my head against the near tree trunk and watched Jerry as he dug into his backpack. I saw him move the wrapped gun to the side. Hey, Jerry. We talk about the gun?
The gun?
Yeah. Where did you get it? I don't know much about guns, but it looked like your regular everyday handgun. Except it looked new. Unused. But that was only from the quick look I got in the cave.
I took it.
You took it? From where? From who? But he turned his attention to the woods, ignoring me. You didn't hurt anyone, did you?
Not for the gun, no.
Oh. Okay.
I took it from a shop.
A shop? What kind of shop?
Small gun shop out there.
So you were out there? He nodded. I thought they didn't let people leave.
They don't let you leave. They found me. I had to come back.
It's so frustrating talking to him sometimes. I know you don't remember much. I know you try, but you remember some things. The cart, the storm. You remember being out there. Did you leave and come back?
I escaped.
From the bunker, yeah. But you came back.
For her.
Right, I wanted to know so much more, but it was hard to get anything out of him. But if I could get my memories back, couldn't he?
I thought about her. Dreamed about her. Out there. So I came back.
So you've had this gun the whole time?
I have to find her.
It was dark and the shadows from the branches above obscured his face. I swear he was crying. Hey, Jerry, I know whoever's in the photo is important to you. You wouldn't come back this way, right? You say you escaped, so I can't imagine you'd come back otherwise.
No.
Right, so I understand why you're here. But I want to make sure you're careful. We're careful. You don't know who those guys were in the woods, but if we're in danger...
We are.
So the gun is necessary.
Yes. For them.
I'm gonna be honest, though, it makes me scared.
It's like your bow.
Don't you mean your bow? But he just shrugged. He had a point, though. The reason I practiced with the bow was so that I could explore the woods while that thing was out there. But it had been a long time since I'd heard anything like it. And now I wondered if what I saw and heard was all in my head. Just then, Jerry stood. What are you doing?
I'm going to search more.
We need to rest.
No. You rest. I search.
I was lucky that everything over the last couple days was finally catching up to me. Because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to shut my eyes. The adrenaline from tonight was wearing off. 2 minutes after Jerry walked off, I was out.
Dad? Dad?
Again, I was searching for my dad in the dark woods. And again, the earth quaked beneath my feet. It cracked and moved underneath me. I tried to run, but couldn't. I fell. I fell further and further into the earth, but it continued to part. I was no longer bouncing back and forth up the sides, but rolling down a steep decline. Eventually, I hit the bottom. But it wasn't dirt. It was a concrete floor. Was this the bunker? I looked up but saw only the trees and stars high above and my childhood bed floating above everything. I turned my attention back to the hallway. There it was. In front of me, the dark hallway of flickering lights. The monster was there, behind the door. But why did I walk toward it? I couldn't stop. I was in a trance. Why was the monster down here? What did it want? What did I want with it? Turn away, Mike. Turn away. I couldn't. Then it stopped. No growling, no roaring, no banging. Silence. Were opening. The monster was there. The monster was... No, it wasn't there. It wasn't the monster. It was...
Hey, shit! You dream?
Yeah, until you scared the shit out of me! Jerry moved to the side, which caused me to instantly squint. The harsh sunlight hitting my face. Ugh, what time is it?
Early.
Thanks.
Come on.
What?
I'm gonna show you. Over here.
He rushed past me. I flung my backpack over my shoulder and followed him back into the field.
This way.
I'm coming! He disappeared behind the 3 large boulders to my left. Jerry, did you ever sleep? Jerry?
Look.
What the hell? There was an eye carving in the boulder. I walked over to it and ran my finger over the indentation. We missed this last night?
Yes.
There are so many of these. What does it mean? Do you know?
It means we're close.
Close?
Yes.
He stared down at the ground. You think there's an entrance around here? I mean, it makes sense. The tracks stopped. We couldn't pick them back up, but hell, the entrance would have to be pretty big to allow for that cart they were riding in.
Yes.
I don't know, Jerry. We may be in over our heads here.
No, we must find.
Okay. Well, it's a new day. I hardly feel refreshed, but let's keep searching. And we did. The whole field. We couldn't find any more tracks or any way to get underground. Several hours had passed. The sun was almost in the middle of the sky now. Jerry, I think we're stuck. Maybe these assholes were airlifted out.
Mikey, you copy?
Both me and Jerry froze. It had only been a day, but it seemed like a lot longer since me and Amber talked. So much had happened since then. Yeah, Amber, go ahead.
So, I had this weird dream last night, and I just had to tell someone. And you seem like the prime candidate. So I thought, why not call? And, oh, wait, are you writing right now?
No, I, was, but I'm taking a break now.
Oh, good. Okay, so, you and I are at the movies, and I know what you're thinking. How was it you? Well, you didn't have a face, that's for sure. But that makes sense, since I don't know what you look like. But I knew it was you, because you were holding a radio. Anyway, we go to the movies, some kids' film, probably something Pixar, or at least it looked like a Pixar movie. But we were the only ones in the theater. We sat in the back. So, while we're watching the movie and eating popcorn, my ex-boyfriend Dylan shows up, and he's pissed. And when I say ex-boyfriend, I mean ex in real life. But apparently in my dream, we were still dating. Anyway, he comes in and starts yelling at me. We get into this huge fight, like actual fist fight, and we fall to the floor wrestling. And I'm about to bite him in his stupid face when I wake up.
What happened to me?
I don't really remember. I think he just kind of left.
Oh.
It's funny, though, because Dylan cheated on me. I, on the other hand, never did anything of the sort.
But were you actually cheating? I didn't have a face and we were at a Pixar movie.
I guess it could have been a friend thing, but Dylan didn't think so.
I mean, maybe it was a date.
Whatever, he deserves it. You know, that's how I caught him in real life.
How?
I followed him one day after work.
To a movie theater?
Well, no, a bar. He was so surprised when I showed up. But I just knew I'd eventually catch him in the act.
Wow. It was funny because I always wanted to try the same thing with Mel, but couldn't. Because I was always busy. That is, until...
Listen, Mike, you just need it to click for you.
What are you talking about, Ricky?
You have stormed out multiple times, but you've always gone back. Why is that?
Because I still care for her. And her son.
Sure. And no matter what any of us say, your friends, your mom, you always go back. You know it's not good.
Yeah, I do know.
So the only way for you to fall out of it is for it to click.
That's how.
I don't know. It's got to be something that's going to drive you away once and for all. Obviously, physical and emotional abuse isn't enough.
Can we keep the jokes to a minimum, please?
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what it could be.
I don't even know what you're really getting at.
It can't be drinking, or drugs, or... I got it.
What?
In the year 2000, you broke up with Sam Browning because she was cheating on you.
Sure, but I found Mel talking to guys behind my back, and sadly, well, I've taken her back.
Sure, yeah. But you caught Sam in the act, remember?
Thank you for bringing that up.
Sam was shit. Fuck her. I remember the day after you caught her. You were done. That was it. She begged for you back, but you said no.
Yeah, but we weren't together that long to begin with.
Okay, sure. There's tons of differences between Sam and Mel. But what I'm getting at is that it clicked for you with Sam. Maybe it will click with Mel too. Think about it. She's talked to other guys already. You've caught her doing that, and so have your friends. But what did you always tell us when that stuff happened?
The same thing I said with everything. She was trying to change.
Right, but you also didn't think she ever physically cheated on you. And as long as that didn't happen, you would try to make it work.
Well, yeah, she was usually talking to guys because she was looking for attention. I let it go so often because...
Because she would blame you. She used your work and your family time against you. Don't blame yourself for that.
No, I know, and I thought about that. I thought about going through her phone again. I thought about following her plenty of times, but I'd never do it. A lot of times it was just because I was at work, watching Nate and looking after Mom.
It makes sense.
Other times, I guess I was worried about what I'd find.
Because you know it would truly be over. It would finally click.
Yeah, maybe.
Listen, I'm not trying to come down on you, man. I understand it's hard. But after everything else she's put you through, if she's physically cheating on you too...
No, I know, but how do I find out?
Hey, I don't have another job for 3 weeks. Let me help.
Hey, Jerry? I think I have an idea. I tensed up when I heard the crackle of the radio, but nothing came through. I don't think Jerry would use a radio right now, and I already told Amber I was going back to writing. When in actuality, I was just sitting here at the edge of the field, leaning against the trunk of a tree and watching some American robins bicker high above me. The robins flew back and forth, zigzagging between the branches. I'd been waiting here a long time, trying not to fall asleep again. I thought back on the day that I caught Mel cheating. It didn't happen right away. It wasn't until 2 weeks after my meeting with Ricky, but he did help me. It sucked because for those 2 weeks after our huge fight, things were actually good. The problem was that was always the case. Things would be good until they weren't. Then she'd go back to drinking and talking to guys and starting random fights with me. Then I'd threaten to leave. We'd fight for a week, and then she'd beg for me back and use her son to make me feel bad for leaving. Then I'd take her back, we'd be good for a couple weeks, and then the cycle would start over. So Ricky was right, because it never clicked for me until I heard movement to my right, but it was just a rabbit. I was surprised how close it was, although I hadn't moved from this spot in some time. I wondered if it saw me. As I watched the tiny animal hop about, sniffing the air, I continued to think about that night. We set up a little sting operation for Melinda, and after 2 weeks I started to have my doubts that she was actually seeing anybody. But then I saw an email left open on her laptop. An old fling had reached out. That's when we caught her. And I applied the same plan here. Jerry was heading back to his cave. They knew he was staying there, that's why they affixed a camera for surveillance. I told Jerry he needed to be seen on that camera. I remember those guys talking about tagging. So my assumption was that if he appeared on camera, they'd send someone for him. That meant if Jerry was right about them entering some kind of bunker here, I should see them emerge. But this was all just a guess. It had been several hours now and there was nothing. Did this actually work? Did Jerry make it back yet? Would they even come back this way? There were so many ifs that, like with Mel, I was starting to doubt the plan when the rabbit scurried right past me, startling me. Jesus. It disappeared into the high grass, obviously frightened by something. I stood looking around, but trying to remain for the most part. But there was nothing. No one. Then I felt it. Movement. The ground shook. I thought, my dream. My nightmare. Then I saw movement. 3 boulders about 30 yards away, protruding high above the yellowed grass in the field, began to move as one. Holy shit. The rocks continued to slide, kicking up dirt and gravel. and after about a minute, it stopped. I couldn't see anything from where I stood. Suddenly, a car zoomed out from the other side. 2 men were inside, but I had no idea they were the same 2 men from last night. The car zipped into the woods on the opposite side of the field, and seconds later, disappeared. It worked. He was right. I was so ecstatic that the plan was just that easy, but then the boulders started to slide again. Back the way they came. Shit! I ran as fast as I could through the thick grass. I came around the right side of the ramp and the darkness it led to. No, no, no! Boulders had almost fully sunk away. Hurry, Mike! The ramp was just about to disappear from view. I had to act fast or I could possibly be crushed. I threw my backpack into the now 3-foot opening, then dove head first. The boulders were closing in, the opening now just 2 feet wide. I crawled forward and turned onto my side, please, and pulled myself through, feeling the side of the rock as it closed the gap to 1 foot. I sucked in my stomach and shimmied. No, 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 no! I pulled my feet in and slid just as the opening became nothing but a 6-inch slit of daylight. Whew, I was in. The light now a 3-inch slit. Then 2. Then 1. Then, complete darkness.
Tower 4. Written and edited by Robert M. Lamb. Starring Jack Austin as Mike, Gina Coyle as Amber, Brian Messick as Gene. Co-starring Justin Alderson. Music provided by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com and Brett Wilkins at Facebook.com/WilkinsMusicFL. If you enjoyed Tower 4, visit 7lamb.com for more podcasts such as this one. Also, don't forget to follow 7lamb on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter This has been a 7Lamb production.
Get in, losers. This is the Lady Killers, a Feminine Rage podcast. I'm Jen.
I'm Sammy.
I'm Rocco.
And I'm May. Our podcast is a tribute to the female-identifying killers in horror and more.
Each episode will feature us, your Supreme Court of female murderers, discussing our favorite lady killers from your Julias and Jennifers to Carries and Christines.
We'll tell her story, decide if it's good for her horror, and answer the most important question of all. Would we die for her?
Join us on Thursdays as we pull on our sweaters, snatch our ice picks, sharpen our scissors, and honor the lady killers who live on the silver screen.
No boys were harmed in the making of this podcast.
Yet.
It was late in the afternoon when the Professor and I took our way towards the east, whence I knew Jonathan was coming.
Jonathan Harker has asked me to note this, as he says he is hardly equal to the task, and he wants an exact record kept.
Dear Madam Mina, I have read your husband's so wonderful diary. Strange and terrible as it is true. I will pledge my life on it.
God preserve my sanity, but to this I am reduced. Safety and the things of the past.
I am in hopes that I shall see more of you at Castle Dracula.
Listen to Regarding Dracula wherever you listen to podcasts, or find us online at bloody.fm.
Hey everyone, Robert here, writer and creator of Tower 4. I want to say thank you for bearing with us. We know production has been kind of slow for Tower 4. We're not releasing episodes as fast as we once were, but that's because we have a lot of stuff going on the business side of things and in our personal lives, and it's just slowed production a lot. But we're trying our hardest to get this stuff out, and we just want to say thank you for bearing with us. If you like Tower 4 and you want to listen to some of the other productions that we produce here at 7 Lamb, you can go to 7lamb.com, find all of our podcasts, like 8 other audio dramas, and like 3 or 4 different nonfiction shows. So you can check those out. Maybe those will tide you over as we continue to work on Tower 4. Also, as you may know, we've been working with Voyage Media to produce other podcasts. And right now we're working on Fever Dreams, which is an anthology, pulpy type of show. Different genres every time they release. Every new episode is either a thriller or a horror or sci-fi. We've been working with Voyage Media to produce these episodes, and they've been coming out really well. And we're excited about the new ones coming up. And to find all the episodes that they have out right now, you can go to feverdreamspodcast.com. And there's a lot of episodes out already with plenty more to come. So definitely check those out. Voyage Media also already has a couple of shows out right now. You can check those out. All of this stuff hopefully can tide you over as we really push forward and try to get season 2 wrapped up of Tower 4. And hopefully come season 3, we'll be a lot quicker with the releases. We have a lot of stuff brewing behind the scenes. Anyways, thanks for listening and enjoy the next episode of Tower 4. Seven Lamb Productions presents Tower 4 Season 2 Episode 8 Trapped.
It was dark and cold in here. I sat up on the steep concrete ramp. I couldn't see a thing until I ran the beam of the flashlight over the wall and rock ceiling above me. This is insane. I grabbed my backpack and flung it over my shoulder. Before moving, I ran the flashlight over the wall behind me. Solid concrete. Then I moved the light to the ramp. I was standing at a weird angle, keeping my balance. This ramp was pretty steep. I took my time heading down. I couldn't believe I was in here, although I didn't know where here was. Eventually, I hit the bottom of the ramp, which leveled out into a large empty chamber. It reminded me of some kind of abandoned airport hangar with its arched ceiling of steel girders. It was cold. I guided the beam along the wall to my right, taking everything in. There wasn't much here. 2 more of those small carts in the corner, but one looked to have a flat tire. No matter. There were 2 stacks of tires by some shelves to the left. In the adjacent corner, some steel tubing and large wooden crates. The center of the room was empty, but as I continued my way around, I saw 2 large steel doors situated directly across from the ramp. Across the doors was a painted eye. Where the doors met created the line down the center. Huh. Above the eye in the upper center of each door was a painted number 4. 4. Is that for Tower 4? No. It couldn't be. Could it? I was far from my tower. I walked past the doors to the other side of the room. More crates and pipes. In the corner on the other side of the ramp was a pyramid of unlabeled barrels and an empty shipping container. Jesus. What is this place? I pointed the flashlight up as I made my way around the room again. Steel girders, vents, and 2 cameras. Oh shit! I startled, but the cameras were facing straight down. Were they on? Didn't seem like it. But just to be safe, I kept my distance, staying closer to the walls, if that even mattered at this point. I did one more pass over with the flashlight, then went for the doors. There was a small metal box with a glass casing to the left of the door. The casing covered 2 large buttons. Well, why not? I pressed the top button. Okay. I tried the other one. Really? Nothing. Is the power out in here? If it was, that probably meant the cameras were off, which at first seemed like good news, but in actuality was bad news, because it meant I was stuck. Great. Now what?
What do you mean by, now what?
I mean, what do I do? Do I sell her things, her house? I don't want to be here. The only person I talk to anymore is Ricky, and that's once or twice a month at most. I'm ready to get out. I have nothing, and I just feel stuck.
Stuck?
Trapped.
Well, Mike, I'm not really here to provide advice.
No, you're here to listen.
That's right. Listen and help you to navigate.
Ah.
So, when you say you're ready to get out, you mean out of your home or out of the city?
All of it. Out of my home, the city, out of the state. I need something new.
Something new? You mean like a change of scenery?
I mean a restart. I mean, hell, I was tired of my job anyway. Getting fired might have been the best thing for me.
It could be, sure. Life's all about perspective.
Yeah, they wouldn't give me the time I needed.
You're a smart guy. You'll be able to find something else.
T&L was a shit company anyway.
And with the time that you took, you'll be spending more time caring for your mother.
Sure, that it helped.
Maybe not in the sense that you hoped for, but don't you feel you got some closure? And I'm sure it made her feel good, don't you think?
I don't know. She didn't really talk much near the end.
But that was much later.
Not much, but sure, yeah, I get what you're saying.
And even after she was in the hospital, you still visited her there often. That's what you told me.
I did, but near the end she was... I fought back tears. You just think I'm crazy, huh?
Mike, I told you before. I don't use the term crazy.
It took a while, and I was super skeptical at first. Here I was, finally, opening up to Dr. Browning.
Mike, a change of scenery may be good for you.
I just want to pack everything up, sell the house, and drive until I'm sick of driving.
That's a common feeling. A means of escape after a traumatic event.
So you hear this kind of stuff often?
Everyone copes with trauma in their own way. But this feeling you're experiencing, it's nothing new.
So I'm coping?
I think so.
I know you're not about giving advice or your opinions, but do you think it's dumb?
Mike, I think you need to do what you need to do. This is our 3rd session, and you've hinted about leaving Livermore each time. If moving to a new place seems the right decision for you, then maybe that's what you need to do.
You're not worried about losing a client?
No. And I provide calls and online sessions in case you were interested. Granted, there are laws and rules prohibiting out-of-state therapy.
Really?
Yes, but there are loopholes and workarounds. I just wanted to put that out there.
Oh.
But we'll save that for another time.
Good. 'Cause I'm already overwhelmed as it is.
I'm sure with everything, it seems like a lot.
It doesn't seem like it is. It is.
Then, maybe a suggestion. Maybe it would help to formulate some kind of plan.
Yeah?
Don't you think?
But I'm worried if I do that, then I'm locked into those plans.
You don't have to be. That would be your choice.
Right, but if I say, look for another job, get an apartment, or buy another house, then that's it. That's my life, then.
So you don't want anything concrete. Then maybe you can formulate a plan that's more open-ended. Start small.
Start small?
When you start small, challenges don't seem so hard. They're easier to overcome.
So, what?
Right. I mean, that's up to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
The theologian Desmond Tutu once said, "There is only one way to eat an elephant, a bite at a time." So maybe start with first just organizing your mom's things.
And what if I don't want anything?
Then you don't want it. But go through it. See what can be sold, what can be thrown out, what can be donated, and so on. Just try to get it organized.
Is that supposed to keep me here?
No. But maybe while you're doing that, you'll figure out the next steps. The funeral. What you want to do with the house. Where you maybe want to go.
What I really want is to write.
You've mentioned that during each of our sessions, too.
We all have time now. Well, not now, but soon. I have way too much to do now.
Yes, but stagger it. One thing at a time. You'll be surprised how much you accomplish. Then
writing can be my prize.
You certainly have a way of phrasing things.
Says the elephant man.
I wish I could take credit for that.
I'm just tired of feeling trapped.
But you're not trapped, Mike. It may feel like that right now, but you're not. You're not trapped.
But I was trapped. I was looking at the two carts in the corner. One had a flat, but I didn't notice until now that the other one was missing a tire altogether. It was jacked up and resting on a cement block. The carts were a little longer than a golf cart, with the back extension appearing to be for cargo. They were also sleeker, more futuristic look. I examined both, but other than a couple of folded up tarps and a lug wrench, they were empty. Damn. I'd climbed into the one with the flat tire. There was a dark green button by the steering wheel. Wasn't sure if it would start up, but still gave it a shot. Still no luck. Maybe I needed a key. Where are you gonna drive anyway, Mike? An hour passed as I explored the room inch by inch. There was absolutely nothing of any use. It was like the place was abandoned long ago, yet I saw them drive out of here. They must have come from behind those steel doors. The problem was the button by the doors didn't work. Nothing worked. In fact, I wasn't even being cautious around the cameras anymore. Screw it. I mean, seriously, screw it.
I don't know if I necessarily condone that type of attitude, but if it's what you're looking for.
I'm looking for peace and quiet.
For your writing?
I can't do it here. I can't do it in that house. There's too much. I told you, I'm exhausted and overwhelmed. I've been ready to go.
I'm aware, and it seems to me you've gone through the necessary steps.
Sold what I could, donated the rest.
And aren't you feeling better?
No.
Why do you suppose that is?
Because I'm still here.
I thought you mentioned a month ago that you didn't want to get another job. You didn't want to feel bogged down or feel trapped.
I didn't. I did it all for shits and giggles. I must have sent out hundreds of resumes and applications. I mean, I went through every damn online job site. And I'm not dumb, Dr. Browning. I know that my inheritance will only take me so far. It's not even like she left me with a lot.
So when you filled these applications out, were they all out of state?
Of course. I wasn't lying when I said I wanted out. I figured I'd throw a bunch out there and see what sticks. And normally I'd be pretty upset only hearing back from a couple of companies, but hell, this might be the perfect job for me.
You think so?
Of course. I've done all the bullshit. Now I can write. I can work on my book.
Have you reached back to them?
Not yet. I only received their response 2 days ago, though. I wanted to come to our session first. Talk it out.
Why do you think you need to do that?
What do you mean?
Well, you seem happy about it.